Watch my future disappear! So let me boil down what that intro was all about. Mr. President, this isn't a good thing. I don't know which one of your hook-nosed banker, coin-hoarding fucking friends or pals told you that this 50-year mortgage thing was good. It's good for banks. It's good for bankers. Because it's essential. It's essentially financial enslavement and usury. So let's get into this. And I can't be too mad about something that I wasn't gonna attain in my lifetime anyway. Owning a fucking house, having an American dream. But essentially, what this is stealing the American dream from most Americans, millennials, and Zoomers, stealing it from out of our hands, repackaging it, and reselling it to us with interest rates and more debt. So first off, if you can't afford a house, you can put money down and have an interest rate. And that's if this 50-year loan, if that 7% interest rate is fixed. But if it's not, so essentially you're continuing to pay for a house you won't own ever, but the interest rate can get hiked up and by banks, which, if it's anything I know about human nature, is the absolute willingness of other human beings to fuck over other human beings. So unless if this is like a state mandated law where it's fixed at 7%, maybe. But my guess it isn't, because with most interest rates, those fluctuate based on the economy, right? You will rarely ever find, I think, fixed interest rate. So this is the minimum of 7 point, it could go 7.9, 8%, 10% interest of what you already have on the loan. If you see by this figure here, you're already paying $1 million of increased interest, whereas the other one at 3% was about $257,000, 567. So about $757,000 you're actually paying versus $1,505,000. So this is just if this doesn't tell me how bad things are for millennials and Zoomers, and this is an indication to me that we're probably headed towards a civil disturbance of some kind. I'm not going to come out and say civil war. But there's a civil disturbance coming soon near you, because this is, again, it's hard to not see as anything other than a lifetime of financial enslavement. And of course, you're talking about an era in which we have an increase in AI and robotics taking people's jobs. And you're seeing less and less more people being able to find that blue collar work. So in times where you would not only not own this house, be in debt and paying additional 7+%, because of course, again, human nature, if it's one thing humans do, is fuck other people. So that's not going to be a fixed 7%. And with the less and less jobs being available, the more H-1B visas from India and China we're handing out means less and less jobs for Americans, which means less and less money for them to afford a home or pay on the interest. And is this in case they don't get injured or die while in this debt, and that debt just goes to their family. And let's be honest, the sheriff or local police probably evict you out of your home because you can't pay for it. So there goes your house that you're now injured and or dead, and now your family's just out in the street, and they probably still have to pay off that loan, right? So now not only you're paying for a loan for a house you don't own, but you're still paying interest on a house that you own the banks or you and your extended family. So essentially, what our society is it's medieval bullshit, really. You have the landowners and And bankers essentially just having everyone else over the barrel, as those same politicians flood our country with H-1B visas from India and China, taking more jobs from Americans, and that's not counting the illegal jobs, right? That are also still flooding into this country from Canada and other places. So, again, I don't know what Trump is thinking here, thinking that this 50-year loan thing is such a great win. Mr. President, I don't know what kind of, again, to wrap this video up, I don't know what kind of banker hook-nosed coin hoarding fuck you got in your cabinet, but this isn't a good thing. This, not at all, not in the slightest. Let me put this into context. I am 35, so with a 50-year loan, I would be 95? 90 plus years old by the time I was able to pay that off, if I was able to pay that off. And again, we're looking at me, a person who's slightly morbidly obese, who loves to eat fast food, and I'm probably not gonna, like, just generally live to 90 to even afford to pay that, and we're counting, you know, increased illegal aliens and H-1B visa labor that's taking more jobs. So who's to say there would even be a job or a future to which I could pay that loan? And not only that, we're also looking at potential World War III. So, and the devaluation of the dollar. So we see this compounding issue here for Americans in general, mainly millennials and Zoomers, where this dream of owning a house, the American dream, is slipping further and further away to the point to where it's absurd to even think, and that's why I'm not as mad. Originally, I was going to do this video like pissed off, but it's hard to be mad when it wasn't even in the cards or foreseeable to do or pull off in the first place. So, again, Mr. President, I don't know who in your circles thinks this is a victory for the Americans in any way, shape, or form. But that's the difference between the average people and someone like Mr. Trump and his cabinet, who he's surrounded by billionaire banker assholes, and they live in a total different reality in which they have multiple homes, they've already made it, and they're so far above us in the sky, like gods in the pantheon of gods, to where the reality is quite different from people up here to people here and down here, Mr. Trump. So, good luck with 2028, because with this shit here, you're having a lot of people who's thinking, well, we're fucked anyway, what's the point of voting? And no offense to the Republicans, you need to have something to offer up more than just tax cuts for the rich elite and your friends. Let's be honest here. I know that's a leftist Marxist talking point, but you need to offer up something to give us a little bit of an edge or a speck of hope in our future in the American dream. And again, normally I'd be pissed off, but again, it's hard to be mad at a future that's ungraspable or even seeable from way down here in the darkness. And that's my 2 cents on that. 50-year loans with 7%, not fixed, by the way, so that they can crank those up if they want. And what a dystopian future it is for my and your generation. I'm glad the previous generations were able to get their houses and own their land. You guys are lucky. But hey, cool.
Money! We gotta make some money!
The sky whispers.